Thanks for staying with us this morning. We're continuing to follow breaking news. A 5.1 magnitude earthquake that hit at 8:07 this morning in Allegheny County.
Yeah, that's right, in the Sparta area. And we have been hearing some remarkable voices come out of this, talking about what they experienced. And one of those people is Callie Carson with the North Carolina Farm Bureau. She's a field rep, and she was in a camper that was 5 miles from the epicenter. First of all, Callie, thank you for joining us. We want to know, are you okay?
We're totally fine, and thank you for having me on this morning.
Callie, what did you experience?
Well, we were cooking breakfast. We're trying to be compliant with social distancing and phase 2 recommendations. So we like to have staycations on our farm in our camper. And it felt like a convoy of dump trucks or transfer trucks coming through the middle of our farm, which we know wouldn't happen. And my 2-year-old screamed, "What was that?" And, you know, we're looking out the windows thinking that's what it is there's something driving up our road, and there was nothing there. And it did pop a couple of the cabinet doors open, but it was more like a big rumble or grumble right up from the ground. We could hear the tin rattling on our barn.
How long did you feel that? How long did that last?
I'm going to say about 10 seconds, maybe a little more, 10 to 15 seconds.
And did you realize after a while what you were dealing with?
We did. Once it finally stopped, because we came outside and looked all the way around. Our worst fear was that we were rolling off a hill, which again we knew that logic said that couldn't happen because we were on flat ground. And my husband and I looked at each other, and he said that had to have been an earthquake. And I said we had no other explanation.
And I can't imagine being 5 miles from the epicenter during a time where, a lot of folks getting up, like you said, cooking breakfast in the morning. Do you have any idea from those around you? I know that you're still social distancing, which is very smart. We still have to do that. Any idea from others as to what you guys are seeing around that entire Sparta area?
Yeah, my sister lives on the east side of Sparta. This is where we grew up, and she said that they felt it. It woke them up, that they were still asleep. My nieces sleep in bunk beds, and they said it rattled the beds against the wall. But we're hearing from friends all over, and then even my brother and my mother in Ashe County said that it rattled there, and that they could feel a substantial movement in homes.
Since you have so many contacts in that area, Callie, are you hearing from any of them that there's any damage or injuries of any sort from any of this?
No, like I said, it was more of a rumble movement and not necessarily a violent shaking. Like I said, it more felt like dump trucks. Something was just driving by really close versus a violent back-to-back shaking, which I think was very nice. We've ridden around to check our cattle and make sure everything's okay, and we've had more damage, thankfully, from some of the thunderstorms that have been coming through than we had from the earthquake. So we're very blessed in that aspect.
Listen, Callie Carson, we are so glad that you were okay with the North Carolina Farm Bureau. Thank you so much for joining us live on the phone this morning. And we just want to reiterate for folks that are waking up and just joining us, this is the biggest earthquake we've seen in this area since 1916. This is a major deal that is definitely impacting those around the triangle.
Yeah, we're talking about a 5.1 magnitude earthquake to hit around 8:07. You likely felt it. A lot of people in our area did. Even the distance from Allegheny County, where this was the epicenter, that's where it all took place. After the break, we'll talk with a woman who lives in Avery County. She also felt it. She says it shook her home. Lena Ingram lives in Avery, North Carolina. We'll hear from her in just a moment.
Bill, what is that?
It's an earthquake.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I thought it was bait.
Hi, everybody. Neil McNeil coming to you from the home office this morning. Hope you're having a great Sunday so far. Just wanted to spend a few minutes and share my experience with the earthquake, which I'm sure many of you felt as well this morning. It was a little after 8 o'clock. My wife and I were in the process of waking up when all of a sudden things started rattling in the bedroom and we could actually feel the bed moving. And she asked if it was raining, maybe it was a thunderstorm. And I thought, don't remember this much shaking in the last really bad thunderstorm that we had. And it was about 10 minutes after 8. I did get up and look at the clock and actually got up to look around and noticed the sun was shining, which was really interesting. And then, of course, started getting the push alerts on the phone that 5.1 magnitude earthquake centered near Sparta, North Carolina, northwest of the Piedmont Triad, had hit just after 8 o'clock. I'm also reading where it's the strongest earthquake recorded in North Carolina since 1916. And according to social media, there are some damage reports up in northwest North Carolina from this earthquake, which I'm sure we'll be covering in our evening newscast tonight. But I hope all of you are okay. Certainly an interesting morning. Par for the course here in 2020, isn't it? Hope you're having a great weekend.
Good morning. Did you feel it? Chances are you did. The earthquake that hit Sparta this morning about 7 minutes after 8 o'clock. I was out here having coffee on my front porch reading the newspaper when the porch started to shake, and I thought, oh my goodness, what is it? I looked over, saw these planters shaking, and I thought, oh no. Jumped up, asked my husband. I was like, what is this? He said, we're having an earthquake. He was very calm about it. I was a little rattled, to say the least. But, you know, my heart does go out to those of you who did have damage in your homes. I hope there were no injuries. I haven't heard of any just yet. But please know, you know, we are thinking about you. Just one more thing to add to the year 2020, a year like we've never experienced before.